Hey guys, Kim Soper, KimSoper.com, and Cypress and the City's very own. And today I'm so excited to bring you a special story this Derby Week 2011. I'm here with Brian Lubeck, and you guys know Brian from our commercial division. He handles all the cool commercial properties and deals for Cypress and the City, Cypress Property Group. And Brian, tell us a little bit about what you do in case some of those video watchers aren't too familiar with what you do.
Well, my main focus, Kim, is representing buyers and sellers of anything commercial. We specialize in multifamily acquisitions, dispositions. We represent retailers, tenant representation work. We also represent restaurants as well. That's been very busy for us, so we're excited about that. And we also property manage all three of those divisions: office buildings, apartments, and restaurants and retail as well. So we're staying very busy. We're excited. The market's doing a lot better, and we've seen a lot of action in 2011, and we're very pleased with where it's headed.
Right, and you don't just work in Lexington too, right? You're all over
Correct.
Kentucky?
Yes, we represent tenants that are as far as South Carolina. We're working on some deals in Indiana right now, Ohio. I was recently in Ohio last week, spending a couple days there with a client of ours. So we're all over the place. Tennessee as well. So we can represent tenants in multiple states at multiple times. It keeps us very busy, but we enjoy what we do.
Great. Well, you know, Brian does work a lot, and he's very busy with our commercial clients. But Brian has the coolest Derby weekend story that I think I've ever heard. And I'm a Kentucky girl, so I've heard a lot of stories. And Brian was fortunate enough to take off last Derby weekend. He works hard, but he made special plans to take off for that weekend. And kind of tell us a little bit about your experience and what happened.
Well, I don't know if we have enough battery on that camera to tell that, but it was quite interesting. I'm originally from Iowa, so I'd never been to the Derby or the Oaks, and so I invited one of my best friends from Iowa and his wife to come down last year, and we attended both of the Oaks and the Derby, but the stars kind of aligned. I had planned to propose to my then girlfriend at the Oaks, and had somehow managed to get the ring just the night before, and it was kind of spur of the moment, so I prepared our fellow Oaks goers that I was going to do this, and I enlisted them for a little bit of help. And so the day of the Oaks, the morning was pretty nerve-wracking. I spent the entire van ride up there nervous and kept checking my front pocket to make sure I had the ring. But once we got there, everything calmed down, and it kind of went to plan. We had a box on near the finish line, and you know, about the fourth race, we got everybody settled in and situated, and just kind of got down on one knee there at the box and didn't really tell anybody what was going on, and it caused quite a commotion. Everybody around us got pretty excited. We're taking pictures, and fortunately, after a few sweaty moments, she said yes. I had to remind her that to just say yes if not, so everybody was watching, but she ended up saying yes, and we ended up having a great day. A lot of excitement, one I'll never forget, and it just somehow continued to snowball into the next day. We ended up having that same box yesterday from a friend of mine that is in the horse industry that had a nice connection. We ended up sitting in the owner's box of Windstar Farm, which we all know now had the horse Super Saver that won the Derby. And that was very exciting. We got to sit in the box right behind the owners and their wives, and we got to talk to them throughout the day and get a little insight. And they had mentioned, you know, about an hour before the race, you know, if we win, you know, we want you guys to come with us. And Super Saver was somewhat of a long shot, and you know, but it was in the back of our mind. We were pretty excited, and as we know now, that Super Saver ended up winning, and true to form, we picked up all of our belongings and took off running, and everybody knows that day it had been raining, and so the track was completely muddy. So we just kind of ran and acted like we knew what we were doing, and rode the coattails of the owners and ran across the track and ended up in the winner's circle. And you know, it was an amazing experience, and just the little side stories that happened there. You know, as soon as Calvin Burrell got off the scale for weighing after the race, my friend from Iowa was the first person he hugged. He just saw my friend and gave him a big old hug, and we continued to celebrate with them. And as I was mentioning earlier, Betsy ended up with my fiance now ended up with the bouquet of roses and carried him around for probably 2 hours until the party afterwards, when we listened to the governor speak, and she finally was able to give it back to the rightful owner. But it was a truly unique experience, and one that doesn't happen, and for us to be our first time going was quite the experience. We're very blessed that it happened, and I still can't explain how it happened, but it's like
Right.
it happened yesterday, you know.
It did.
so.
Now, for people that may not remember, I mean, Derby weekend last year, it rained non-stop. I mean, we had record floods.
Yeah.
And obviously the track is dirt, it's mud,
Yeah.
it's a mess.
Yeah.
Did you have any reservations about just walking through that mud, running through that mud to get there? Or
No,
you were all in at that point?
we were all in. The excitement was so overwhelming that we just took off running. I think we left things behind in our box, but we didn't care. And the girls took their high heels off and just ran, and we all had, you know, obviously new outfits on and stuff. I had a brand new suit, but at that point it didn't matter, you know. And we took off right across there, so. You interrupted. Yeah, you sign that. Okay.
See, he's working still.
Working still, look at that.
Busy day.
Yeah.
Busy day.
So anyway, yeah, we just took off across the field, and to this day I have a big box at home. We kept our mementos, and my friend and I from Iowa just said, we're gonna keep our shoes. They were full of mud, and we made sure the rest of the night that we didn't wash them off, and so I still have the shoes with all the mud from the track. So it's kind of a little.
That is so
memento.
neat. So you'll never wash those shoes?
No, I had to buy new shoes the next day so I could come to work.
That's
that weekend.
funny.
So yeah, I got new shoes now, and we're not gonna.
But it's worth it.
Yeah,
it's
it
worth
was
it.
definitely worth it.
Now, I'm sure the viewers want to know. I mean, did you bet on Super Saver? I know you said it was a long shot, but you're up there with the owners. I mean, did you at least put a $2 ticket
We
down on
did.
Super
We
Saver?
ended up betting. We weren't so fortunate the rest of the day, but that bet we put in $20, and we won. A pretty good amount. Enough to cover our festivities after the race. But we did. We bet on. We had to.
You had to.
We just had to.
You had to believe. You had to
Collectively,
believe.
as a group, I think we put $20 on it or something.
Wow,
so, yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Now, I've Kentucky born, been here my whole life, and I don't have a Derby story quite like yours.
Okay.
Any tips for people watching that are going to the Derby this year? How do you get in the winner's circle?
Luck and knowing the right people. Just having good friends that have connections. I've always been told my whole life, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And this is one of those instances where it came true. There's no rhyme or reason why a group from Iowa should have ever had this experience, but we did. And now it's made believers out of us, and it's hooked us for life now. Again, my friend from Iowa that was here last year, he'll be here tomorrow. We're going again. So
Great.
It's going to be an annual thing. They've got some new horse lovers. We love Keeneland and everything else, but the Derby and the Oaks was quite an experience. It'll never be replicated, but at least we can go back and relive it every year.
So, absolutely. So we'll have to talk to Brian on Monday to
Mm.
see what happened this Derby weekend. I'm sure he'll have some good stories for us. And Brian, thank you so much for sitting down with us today. I know you're busy. You've got more work on your desk to do,
Yep.
but it's Kentucky Derby week, and we had to bring you this fun Cypress in the City, very own Kentucky Derby. Totally original, totally cool, top of the line kind of story. And thank you so much, Brian, and
Oh.
tell Betsy we hope she has a great time too this year.
Sure will. Thank
So
you.
thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Kim Soper reporting live, Cypress in the City headquarters with commercial expert Brian Lubeck. Go Kentucky Derby.